Hello, and thanks for checking out Missed Meals and Cold Coffee. I'm Chef Lethal, and I've had some mild success on the internet as a live streamer, so I thought I'd bring those talents and my own life experiences to chat with you about parenthood. I'll cover topics ranging from infertility to the adoption process, while hopefully having some fun in the meantime. Now, before we get into the episode, my legal team has prepared the following disclaimer.
This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only. Any medical advice or information given by the host, Chef Lethal, or any of his guests should not be taken seriously or acted upon without the express consent of an actual medical professional. Please call your doctor if you experience an erection lasting longer than 4 hours, as this may be an unintended side effect. Please follow Chef Lethal on Twitter at Chef Lethal Plays and on Twitch at twitch.tv/Chef Lethal Plays.
Now, with that out of the way, on to the show. Hello, welcome your face and ears to another episode, I'm calling them shows. Welcome to another show of Missed Meals and Cold Coffee. If you don't know, now you know. I'm Chef Lethal, and by now you should know, this is the 7th episode of the show. And fun fact, this is being released on the 27th of January, which is a day after my birthday. So happy birthday to me. You can celebrate by listening to the show and giving me your positive feedback. If you have anything negative to say about the show, I don't want to hear it. True story, though. I have a very fragile ego. So today we're going to be talking about stuff as we normally do, which is totally cool and stuff. But of course, at the top of every show, we got to get through the housekeeping. So we are live right now on twitch.tv/Chef Lethal Plays. If you are not familiar with Twitch, it's amazing, and you should go over there and press the follow button to be able to see these live. The fun thing about watching on Twitch is that you get to see the future show. So if you're all caught up on what's, like, if you have listened to all the shows right now and you just finished episode number 5, which is the last one that's live on Spotify and YouTube right now, you could have seen that I was live on Twitch right now and come over into the chat and watch this episode being recorded live, even though it won't even be released for another 2 weeks. Pretty neat. Speaking of Twitch, 2 amazing human beings are in the chat saying hello right now. Rose Rain and Allie Rose Petal. Welcome on in. Love your faces. Thank you so much for joining us. The family is great. Lots of stuff happening. So good stuff. Continuing on with the housekeeping and caveats, of course, Twitter for any ramblings and musings of things that I say. Instagram, I post occasional pictures. I did post recently a picture of this beautifully cooked picanha steak I made the other night, completely by accident, cooked it perfectly, and I may be tempted to lick my screen every time I see it. I did mention that yesterday, from the release of this episode, is my birthday, or was my birthday, January 26th. If you want to chuck $1 at my face, go to ko-fi.com, that's ko-fi.com/Chef Lethal, and get yourself some gratitude by throwing $1 at my face and saying thank you. Moving right along, we are going to be talking about things today regarding baby showers and stuff. So again, no judgment zone. We do no judgments on this show. Anything that I say you can't judge me for, and any opinions that you have or feedback I can't judge you for, unless it's stupid. And that's kind of the rules of how we go here. I think most of the things that I'm going to be talking about today are going to be pretty neutral, but I am going to be using the husband and wife terminology in relation to people having a baby, just because it's easier than saying, life partner or whatever, boyfriend, girlfriend relationship. I don't care, because there's many different, we're talking about baby showers today, and there's many different configurations of family that you would be going into having a baby shower. Excuse me. But just for the sake of, I'm talking about my own experience, and spoiler alert, I'm a married man to a woman, so I'm just going to be using husband and wife terminology for the show. Obviously, don't be offended if you have another configuration. The show will still apply to you, I can assure you. So today we're talking baby shower, and if you didn't know, because you didn't listen to the other episodes, we had to have our baby shower during a flipping global pandemic, which is really fun. If you didn't already know that, it's really cool to have to completely change your plans or the way that you normally would do something because of a pandemic. Cool, once in a lifetime thing, right? Can't wait to tell my kids about it, even though they're living through it right now too. So we did not expect to get pregnant when we did. So all this stuff happened unexpectedly anyway. I do want to reiterate for probably the fourth time that our mini lethal number 3 is not a COVID baby as the tradition or as like a stereotypical term would be, because she was created prior to the pandemic status. So she was born during COVID, was not a COVID baby. So I don't think anybody really cares, but I just like saying that because it's funny. So, and then, when you are having your own kid, you know exactly how much time you have to get ready. And I covered last week a little bit on some things about pregnancy and kind of getting ready. And then even next week, we're going to be talking more in depth on that. But today we're talking about the shower. And if you don't think that this is going to be all about just a baby shower, because I want to talk about my experience and how we had it done. But I also I'm going to be touching a little bit on if you're going to be a guest at a baby shower, whether it's a special one because of COVID or just, next year in 2022 or whatever, when things go back to normal. If you're going to be a guest at a baby shower, regular baby shower, or if you're going to be throwing someone a baby shower, there are going to be some little bits and bobs in here that are going to be helpful for you to do the best options for the couple that's having the baby. So take it from me. This one I can actually speak from relative experience because we just did it in August. So stay the tunes. Wow. I'm really tired, by the way. Really tired. Stay tuned for that. So and Rapak checking in. Rapak, I say your name every time. I hope I say it correctly, but Rapak checking in on the Twitch chat. Hello, welcome in. Happy Sunday, everybody. And Rose, Baby Lethal is amazing. She's beautiful and perfect. All right, so during COVID, people determined that we pretty much have two really main ways to do things. Like birthday parties or graduation parties were really big, and baby showers. So one of the most popular ways I think people were doing them via Zoom or other video conferencing software. That's fine. A lot of people, we know several people that did that. They also have, people were also doing drive-bys, not shootings, although they may have been shooting video, but that's bad. That was a bad joke. I'm sorry. Still waking up. They would do drive-by, so like the couple would be out on their driveway and they would arrange basically like a, what's it called? Like a processional of cars. I was trying to think of what it's called, like, never mind. I was gonna say like after a funeral that's a thing. Okay. So people did that, and that's fine too. Although that one we felt really weird about because it's just like you're standing out there and people are just dropping off gifts and saying hi. Especially in a place like we live in Orlando, and Orlando is so spread out that it would seem kind of we would hate to ask like our friends to come to our quote unquote baby shower, drive 45 minutes from across town to just drive by for 30 seconds and give us a gift. It just seems like really, I don't know. There are people that did it and they had a good time with it. You can't judge me. It's just, we didn't want to do that. And we didn't want to do a Zoom shower because, we were on Zoom practically all day at work. And it's like, it just felt really impersonal and kind of awkward a lot of times, because then they like my wife had one, they did a Zoom one for work for her and another coworker who had a baby right after us, like a month after us, I think. And it was just kind of awkward, like they played like a Kahoot game, like weird trivia, and then it's really awkward. Everyone's watching you open gifts. It was like, it's kind of icky. I didn't like it. I participated because I was there, but we didn't want to do that for ours because it just felt kind of boring and awkward, and we hate boring and awkward. Which is funny because she married me and I am both of those things. So here's what we did. And I take absolutely zero credit for that. I can't take any credit for it. Even if it was my idea, I wouldn't take credit for it. But I can't take any credit for this. I forget exactly how it all came to fruition. But so my mother-in-law and my wife's best friend for like 20 years did all the organization and everything. And they rented a house. They found a house that on Airbnb that like the owner assured us that everything would be kept sanitized and clean, and they had a cleaning crew come in after every guest and get everything sterilized and clean, for COVID purposes. And so the way the house was laid out, like you come in the front door, and there was a mask station with a thermometer, like a forehead thermometer, and there were different stations throughout, like kind of like a pass-through kitchen, and there was places where guests could come and write a funny note on a diaper and leave it, and then there was like just lots of little activities. And all of our guests, after they RSVP'd and they got like the final RSVP in, everybody was given a schedule, so that, if I said, okay, Rose Rain RSVP'd to our baby shower, you can come arrive between 1 and 1:10, and your window is until 1:30, and then at 1:30 we have it arranged the next person to come, so that way we didn't have too many people gathering in the house at the same time. So people would come in, immediately get temperature checked. If they didn't have a mask, they were promptly handed a mask, and then the people would go through the kitchen to do the diaper thing and do this little, write a note to the couple and color a block for the baby. And then they come around, and then my wife and I and the kids were sitting in the living room. We had chairs, and we were able to have one-on-one conversations with the people, with the guests. It felt so much more personal than any other baby shower where you go and it's like, here's 50 people and the couple, and you got to make your rounds, and it's like our wedding. When we got married, we didn't even have really a big wedding, but it just was kind of overwhelming to make sure you said hi to everybody and thank everybody for coming. But that wasn't a big deal with the baby shower, because everyone came, and we sat down and had 10-15 minutes to chat and just talk, and it was really, I can't stress enough, I absolutely loved this idea. I mean, for a stereotypical man to say he enjoyed the baby shower, it tells you something. But I really, really did enjoy the way this was set up. I think it was perfect, because even if we were talking to Rose Rain, and then Allie Rose Petals time came, she would still have to come in and go around like through the kitchen and do all those stations while we're still talking with Rose. So we would have plenty of time and notice that the next person was ready to come. So again, that way we're not too many people in a confined space. And the next benefit that we had, and it reduced a lot of the awkwardness, is they would give us our gift, and we would open their gift, and we could say thank you, when we could tell exactly what they got, and that was it. Did we? Yeah, we did open them. Okay, so and that way you're not opening gifts in front of other people, and other people, you think everybody does what they can, but if I go to a baby shower and I could only spend, say, $25 on a gift, and you open up my gift right after you open up somebody who got you a $300 baby monitor, obviously you're gonna be really excited for the baby monitor, and I'm gonna feel like crap. Even though maybe not necessarily, but the possibility is there to feel like crap, because just naturally, we project, or we compare ourselves to other people, and Rat Pack might be able to afford a $300 baby monitor to give to the couple, and it might be nothing to him, but to me, $25 is a lot. But not everybody knows that, and it could, I don't know, it's just awkward. That kind of stuff is just so awkward to me. So why do it? Why do we do this? Whose idea was it to just put 50 people in a room and open up gifts awkwardly in front of everybody? It's like, it's a recipe for making somebody, inevitably someone's going to feel bad about what they did or didn't do. But the way that we did it, if someone only could spend $25 on a gift, there's no comparison. It's like, you gave me the gift, I opened the gift, Awesome. Thank you so much. A diaper bag. We needed this. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming. Adios. Next guest. And they came in and they sit down and we have a chat. They give us our gift. We open the gift. Oh, cool. A $300 thing. And they have no idea what the last person got us. And the last person doesn't know what this person got us. So everyone was kind of in its own little vacuum. And it was so good. And we got, I mean, honestly, we got some good stuff. So that was really the gist of the baby shower. And after everyone's time was done and the official shower part was done, like our family members, like my mother-in-law, stepfather-in-law, and some other people came down to like help us and stay. They actually stayed at the Airbnb. They got tested before they came down, and and we actually all got tested. I want to make sure that's absolutely clear. We all got our test, and I know there's confusion in the air or whatever about the efficiency or the accuracy of the rapid tests or anything, but we all tested negative before the event, and thank God, because we don't know what we would have done if any of us tested positive. But anyway, that was that. And like I said, I can't stress enough. It was absolutely great. They did a great job. Decorations were on point. The family that stayed after all the guests were done, we had food. We had just a million cupcakes to eat, and we had drinks, and then we had, my wife and I, we had family gifts to open from everyone that was there, and that was a little bit longer. But it was such a good time. Highly would do that again. Absolutely. Not to say that we would ever have another baby, because we're not going to, but if we ever did, I would almost want to do that again. Even if everyone's vaccinated, we're all back to normal. It was just such a good idea. I'd love to see somebody else do it, because it was great, and it kicked the pants off of a Zoom thing. Now, I will say that for the gender reveal, we did do a Zoom. It was very small. We only had like 5 or 6 like family members on, but we got like poppers. They were like yay long, like probably about a foot long, and you twist the bottom and it shoots out colored dust, for lack of a better term, and confetti, the color of blue for boy, pink for girl. So we did that via Zoom, and that was a lot of fun, because that was when it was like, the family knew, but and Ellen J and I knew that we we knew the gender of our baby. Obviously, we bought the poppers, but the family didn't know, and it was just a good moment. So that was the shower part, and again, it was amazing. I'm gonna move into the message to gift givers. So here's the deal: when you are setting up a shower, so when we were setting up our shower, Mrs. Lethal and her mom both had a joint account on, I think it was called Baby List or something like that, where they could just throw things on this registry. And, every once in a while, my wife would check the list and say, oh, no, we don't need that, or that, we need 2 of those or whatever. And by the time that the shower came, it was a huge list of stuff, right? And we'd never had a baby before, so we didn't know, what you really need or what you're really going to use. So she was just throwing everything on there, which was great. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like it's better to have too much stuff or stuff that you don't necessarily need, because then at least you have it and you don't know. Like we didn't know. So, say somebody got us, I don't know. I don't even know what to say, but if they got us like, I'm just going to say something like heated socks for your baby, because it was on the registry, it sounds like a great idea, but in reality, maybe we'd never use them. But if we needed to use them, it'd be better to have them. That was a really bad example, but I think you get the point. Better to put stuff on there, and if you have to, return it or exchange it or something if you never use it. So that's always an option. So, message to gift givers: listen closely. Stick to the list. Stick to the list. The mother and any affiliated parties will have taken a lot of time and research to put together the registry list. Stick to the list, okay? I cannot stress that enough. If you have to go off list because you're a rule breaker, there are a few things that I would recommend that would be almost priceless. You can't say it's priceless because you're actually buying something and that has a price. Rose Rain also gives a good point. You can also donate things that you get that you don't need or only use lightly or whatever. You can also sell them, although that's probably a little faux pas to sell something like on Facebook Marketplace. Okay, so here are a few things that if you look at the registry and you go, oh man, everyone got all the good stuff. I don't really want to buy socks. Like let's say you have a budget of, you love these people and you have a budget of $100 and the only thing left on the registry is some $12 socks, cash. I saw a Facebook post recently that said we need to normalize cash gifts. And I can't agree more. I can't agree. No, I agree 100%. Normalize cash gifts. Trust me, there will be things that come up that can't be prepared for because maybe the couple never had a kid. So they have to run out in the middle of the night and get something, and guess what? Cash. Or, whatever, a gift card or something. Just cash money, easy to spend. That is what you need. Second thing, food delivery services. I'm not talking HelloFresh, Blue Apron. I love those services, not sponsored. Wish I was sponsored. Grubhub, Uber Eats, heck, even I don't even know. I don't know. There's so many. Postmates, gift cards, because I used Grubhub for the very first time in the hospital, waiting for our baby to be delivered, and we use it probably once a week now, because it's hard for us to get out, or we don't feel like driving out, to go get food, but we don't have anything to eat in the house, so we get it delivered. And some of our friends gave us, I think we got like a $25 or $30 something Uber Eats gift card at the shower. And oh my gosh, it is so helpful. Especially with the baby. It's great anytime. Uber Eats is a great gift to give anybody, anytime. It's a great birthday present. Get me an Uber Eats gift card, people. But if you're going to a shower and you need to go off list, get them a Grubhub or an Uber Eats or something like that. Because they will use it and it will be appreciated. I did a little bit of pre-baby cooking and freezing. Like I made some enchiladas, like frozen enchiladas, for after the baby came and didn't feel like cooking. Those only lasted a few days. And then after that, I still didn't feel like cooking because you're taking care of a newborn. That's where Uber Eats came in, and they just drop it off the front of the house. They knock the door or send a text and boom, done. Dr. Boo checking in, my great friend Dr. Boo checking in on Twitch. Best gift to give is a piece of land in Scotland. I don't know if that's going to be very useful for a baby, but you could start your family. Although I don't think we're allowed to travel anymore in the United States. Sickness Jones checking in. The Twitch chat has resubscribed for 12 months. Sickness Jones, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. You too can become a part of the Lethal Brigade. If you're listening to this, head over to twitch.tv/ChevLethalPlays. Hit the subscribe button. It is not free, but it can be if you have Amazon Prime. And it puts a little bit of dollars in my pocket. So thank you very much for that, Sickness Jones. Getting back to the registry situation. So let's say you're going to stick to the list. You listen to the show and you go, Chef, I feel weird giving somebody cash. I'm not going to give them a Grubhub. I'm going to just stick to the list. Don't be offended if the person asks, like if you give me a gift, don't be offended if I ask you for the receipt because I need to return it or exchange it. Okay? There are a myriad of reasons why I would need to return a gift. I realize I'm changing perspective a lot in the show. Like I'm saying I, me, we, whatever, just go with it. But anyway, it could be that I got 2 of something and I don't need 2 of something, so I want to go return it, or I got a better or something. So here's a true story. We were given a baby monitor set that was on our registry, and then later on at the work baby shower for my wife on Zoom, they somebody got us like a way better version of baby monitor situation, and so we had to return the original one because it's not as good. So I felt really weird asking for the receipt for that, but I shouldn't have had to. But I mean, it's like you're giving, I don't know, people get really weird about stuff like that. And personally, I don't care. Like if I buy you something and you don't like it or it's not going to be useful, especially for a baby, I feel like with a baby, efficiency is key. Like you want to be able to get something that can be used and can be used a lot. Like, I don't know, it needs to be about comfort and ease of use and what's going to be best for the family. And don't be offended if you get something that gets returned or exchanged. Like don't go to that person's house later on, in a year or two, like looking around for the thing you bought them because whatever, maybe the baby didn't use it. That's another thing. Like babies are picky, and you don't know what your baby's gonna like when it pops out. Like it's not gonna just pop out and go, oh hello, I love whatever, stuffed elephants. Nobody knows. So you could be gifted this beautiful stuffed elephant, and your baby could just look at it and go no, and start screaming at it because it's scared. That's gonna get returned. Hate to break it to you, that's gonna be returned. Don't go to that person's house looking around. What'd you do with that elephant? I don't see the elephant around. No, don't do that. I'm getting worked up over here. I gotta calm it down. Dr. Boo, I worry if baby pops out with an accent. That would actually be hilarious, and I have many nightmares where that would happen. Okay, so another thing, if you're giving clothes because they're on the registry, got to keep in mind the seasons of the year, the location where the family lives, and the age of the baby. Now, this may sound silly because when babies pop out, they are precisely 0 years old, but let's just say I'm having a summer baby. Let's say so I live in Florida. I live in Orlando. Let's say that we're having a baby in July. Okay, it's hot. Average temperature in July, average high temperature is like 97. Average 97 and wet. Okay, if you get us a like summertime onesie for a 6-month-old, it's going to be what, November, December, when she's going to be able to wear it, or when baby's going to be able to wear it. And it's going to be cold, allegedly. It doesn't really get too cold here, but so like our baby was born at the end of September. So September, October, November, December, January. So 4 months. So it's kind of cold right now. So somebody would have given us, I say cold with the respect to my listeners and viewers that are actually in areas of the country and world that get cold, but for us it's chilly. It's a little chilly right now, but if you get us a 5-month, whatever, what I think they go like 3 to 6 month onesie that's short sleeves, tank top, super cute, we're not going to use it because it's cold, even though we're not really going out anywhere, but it just doesn't make sense. So keep in mind, if you live in Wisconsin, your mileage may vary, but you gotta think about that, because I think we had a few situations where we got like winter clothes for a later age, and it's like, one, it doesn't really get cold, but two, we're never even going to be able to use this because it's the wrong time. So that's something to keep in mind. I'll also say regarding clothes, don't give clothes unless it's on the list. Okay, don't give clothes unless it's on the list, because here's what happened. Before our baby came, we were given a bunch of clothes from some friends. Like, they just dumped a ton of clothes on us. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And then in the lead up, my mother-in-law got us a bunch of clothes just as I thought this was super cute, and you could, just little bits and bobs here and there. So we already had like a backlog of clothes. We have clothes in our baby's room that like go to 3 years, and it doesn't hurt that we have an older daughter too. So I think we still have some of her old clothes that were in good shape that we're keeping for our baby. So don't give clothes. So caveat to that, if you must give clothes because maybe you saw the cutest suit or something that you think this baby is going to need in their life, check with the family or the lady who's pregnant, the to be mom, to see if it's cool. Also, wait till after the baby is born, because that might be a situation where they don't have something they need, or they don't have a article of clothing that they desire for the baby. And if you were wanting to give them, some onesies or something, check with them first, because they may have gotten a ton of onesies at the baby shower, but then they don't have any winter clothes, or they don't have any pajamas, or they don't have enough burp cloths or something like that. And then that way you're really meeting the need of the person who just had the family that just had the baby, like. And it wouldn't, you don't have to make a phone call, send a text, because it's going to be hectic at the household with the new baby. Just say, hey, look, I wanted to buy you some clothes, but what do you need? I want to get you something. That'll be much appreciated. There will be another show coming up in a few weeks, where I'll be covering some of the really great gifts that we got, and some of the stuff that we imagined that we wished we would have gotten. So that'll be a dedicated show that I wish was sponsored, but I'm not very good at this thing. All right, so another thing, if you do have kids and you want to give the family a gift that's not on the registry, but it's something that you found useful as a new parent, you still need to check with the family, okay? Still need to check with the husband, wife, whatever, because you may be stepping on their toes. You may be, getting them something they have absolutely no interest in. You may be getting them something they don't need. So check with them first, and then along that same line, if you have a suggestion, if you're like gonna go to their shower and you're like, okay, let me see what I can get them, maybe you're scrolling their baby registry list and you go, oh, wow, I can't believe they don't have this thing that I used that was amazing with my child. Let me tell them, because we got some good ideas from my wife's friend on Facebook. Like, she was just kind of like trolling, because that other person has a lot bigger of a network. So she was like posting, so here's my baby registry, this and that. And my wife would go into the comments and see people, oh, you need this, you need that, you need this. And then we do our own research and go, yeah, we do need that. That's great. So again, you could be also doing them a favor by suggesting things to put on the list that they hadn't thought of before. Let's see. Just to kind of wrap up, I didn't think I was going to. I'm just looking at my notes. I think I'm getting some things mixed up. Yeah, I have things here that I need to put into a later episode. I don't know what I was thinking. I may have had a few cocktails while I was writing these notes up. But one thing I will say that, COVID did make things unusual for everybody, for a lot of things. Pretty much everything was different this year. But you do what you got to do. We did what we had to do. Everything turned out great. And I would do it again. Not the pandemic part for sure, but I would do the shower again. As I mentioned at the top of the show, I would absolutely do that again. But yeah, so you got to make concessions, but I hope this was useful to some people, because that's my whole goal for the show in general anyway, is just to hopefully give some information that you might find to be useful. And yeah, so we're going to wind this down. And what I'm going to say is, I can't believe this is the 7th episode. I have last episode edited, ready to upload. And this one will be quick to edit and ready to upload. And we're sticking with the Wednesday afternoon. I can't believe it's been a consistent ride for me, which is pretty neat. But throughout the course of these episodes, I've kind of been talking about my experience, my personal experience with this, and some suggestions here and there for people, but mostly just telling you my story and telling you how you can support new parents or people that are expecting or whatever, or if you're yourself getting ready to have a kid, you know, kind of what I went through. And again, everyone's pregnancy is different. Everyone's circumstance is special. Every baby is beautiful. But this is what happened to me. But we're getting to the point now in the story, in my story, where the meat and potatoes, and I love meat and potatoes. Believe me, I love it. So you know, next week it's going to be kind of the lead up to birthday, which is kind of a funny thing to say because of how we use birthday in normal vernacular. Probably going to be a longer episode next week, looking at my notes and looking at the notes that I, for some reason, put them in for this episode. Which this one's kind of long too, but yeah, next week's going to be a doozy. And if you're watching this live, I'm probably going to record next week's tomorrow, so Monday on Martin Luther King Day, the 18th. So stay tuned for that. Hit the follow button if you haven't already. Speaking of follow button, head over to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/ChefLethalPlays. Hit the subscribe button on there. It's free. I feel like I've done myself a disservice as a YouTuber because I don't ever mention to hit subscribe, smash the like button, comment down below. I don't say any of that stuff because it's such a second thought to me. But if you're on Twitch, I really appreciate that. Hit the follow button. It's free. You can also turn on post notifications or live notifications that whenever I do go live, you can hop in the chat and just lurk and you know, hear a future episode being recorded. And then, you know, when you listen to it again on Spotify later, or you watch the video on YouTube, you can go, I was there. I was live. My name was on the screen. And you could say, hi, Mom. I'm on Twitch. I'm on this weird guy's podcast. Again, the Twitter, the Instagram, Ko-fi.com/ChefLethal. If you want to chuck $1 at my face, it would be mucho apreciado. But anyway, I want to thank you, as always, for listening to this, the 7th episode of Missed Meals and Cold Coffee. Next week, again, we're talking about the actual preparations leading up to the day of birth. It's a wild ride. Ours was a definite wild ride, but you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be a good one. So until that time, this is Chef Lethal signing off, wishing you a full plate and a fresh hot coffee.